Hello. So, this is going to be a story time on how I manifested my first high paying job. I'm so glad I'm doing these kind of story times because I'm very spiritual and I want to teach you guys how to manifest correctly because I most definitely did it the wrong way and have no shame sharing my mistakes so you can learn from them. All right. So, my first high paying job was AT&T. Yes, I'm going to say the name because. Anyways, so how I manifested it, I was working at, you guys know I used to work at Office Depot. Yes, I'm dropping names in here. Yes, I'm dropping a company's name. Whoop de whoop. Yeah, I used to work at Office Depot. Was one of my worst jobs. Barely paid anything. Faced a lot of discrimination racially and just discrimination against me, how I talk, how I act with all the managers and even the coworkers as well. They're very much snaky, very snake-ish, snake-like. Uh, but so while I was there, I was putting in for another job, which was AT&T, which I knew in Oklahoma it paid a lot. Entry level is $16 an hour. That's all I knew. Um, so obviously, being in a really toxic work environment, I put in for another job. I did the interviews and whatnot, and before I put in for the job, I was very much because the funny part is it was Office Depot, then there was like a Burger King on the corner, then it was AT&T right across the street, the call center, not the store. I stared at it every single day and basically visualized myself driving in a car. I didn't have one. Driving in a car, like going to work, all dressed up nicely and whatnot, because it's like a business casual wear. So when I tell you I fixated on it, like I really visualized this damn job. Like I stared at it like this, like because Office Depot had like open windows. It was like it's like office supply store with print center and all that. So I literally stared on it. I stared at it like this because I'm such a Scorpio and I'm very intense with my emotions. So I just stared at it like this, almost like I was trying to have telekinesis or some shit. Is it sunny outside? Oh, sorry, it's been raining all day. But yeah, almost like I had telekinesis. I was staring at it like this. Like, and I kept saying in my head, that is my job. That is gonna be my job. Like, you know how you just kept saying it's literally I was manifesting it. Again, didn't know about spirituality at this point, so I just, I was manifesting it. So lo and behold, I have to do an Office Depot story time to tell you how that environment like really went, like day in and day out type thing. It was funny because when I did get the interviews, I was very excited. Did the phone interviews where you do it like over a video, like did video responses. And I found out I got the job. I was hired. I put in my 2 weeks. Funny part is when I put in my 2 weeks, my manager was acting all sad, like she didn't know why. And that's the thing about obviously not all white people are racist, but her specifically, she was. So again, you have to think this is a time when this was in 2020 when BLM was happening. She was calling black people thugs and robbers and shit like that. So I knew right then and there that bitch was the snake. But anyway, she was trying to pretend like she was all sad that I was putting it in, even though I had been talking about it for weeks because she was treating me like shit. And as much as as much as disrespectful she was, I thought it was hilarious how she pretended like she was sad. That was the hilarious part for me. That she pretended like she cared. But in her eyes, you would think that she cared. But it's funny how much white people, again, not all white people, but it's funny how white people will treat you like shit. Like I really was treated like just a modern day slave. Like like I was literally on the field cleaning all the time because the Office Depot as a company were too cheap to even get a maintenance crew to actually clean the whole store. So the floor was always dirty and we always cleaned it up. Us cashiers had to individually leave our registers for another cashier to stand in. And yeah, I'm gonna get into Office Depot in another story time because I got a lot of fucking shit to say. But anyways, as much as I wanted to fucking go off on this stupid bitch, I didn't. It took me about 3 seconds before I could answer because the first thing that popped in my mind was to say, "Bitch, you're rude. Like you've been treating me like shit every single day that I worked here. Shout out to you, Tammy. You fucking suck." Um, but all I said was better job opportunity. I kept it cute. I kept it classy. Um, because I feel like that was just a really good. That was just a really good. It was like an aha moment for me. So yeah, that was just it. Like it was just a really good aha moment for this stupid bitch. And my other coworkers found out that I put my 2 weeks in. They were talking shit. They're like, "Oh, you didn't tell nobody?" And I'm thinking in my head like, "I don't owe y'all shit." And it's funny because the same coworkers that talk shit to me every day say I couldn't do anything, found out to get a better paying job than they did. That's what I noticed about myself. I was always the most bullied, but turned out to be the one with the most money and the most successful. That's why I tell people don't bully somebody because they're going to end up being more successful than you one day. And then you're going to be the one with a less paying job and then talking shit about that person when they leave the room. But, and the funny part was during my 2 weeks, again, I'm gonna get into this in another story time, but during my 2 weeks that I was, just working my last 2 weeks before I started my new job at AT&T, uh, Tammy and I'm gonna say her name too, the other manager that was hella rude to me every single day. She was such a bitch. Her name was Angel, which is very ironic. It's always bitches with the most angelic names are fucking rude. But yeah, her name was Angel. She got fired. Tammy got walked out in front of everybody. It was so hilarious because these big managers came in one day and we was all like looking around and shit, like, and they were like, "Oh, you can work as usual." Like they were very nice to us, you know what I mean, the workers, but they weren't so nice to Tammy. And I'm gonna get into why she got fired, but seeing her get walked out was hilarious. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I don't give a fuck. The bitches that were there that knew her for years because she had been working there for 18 years were crying and shit, saying, "Oh, she shouldn't have been fired." But I'll get into why she got fired because she had a very good reason why she got fired. But I guess she thought since she worked for the company for almost 20 years that they would never fire her. But the firing was very much justifiable. Her, Angel, and Larry, a guy that came in from another an Office Depot store, got fired again, rightfully so. I'm gonna get into that later. Just saying, the people that picked on me the most, I thought it was hilarious how God made sure that they were without. Shout out to you. Okay, but yeah, so this is the part where I say you have to be specific whenever you manifest. Okay, I manifested my first high-paying job. Yes. You have to think something, okay? It's a call center. Yes, they pay a lot, but there's a reason why they pay a lot. They're paying for the stress, okay? I knew something was going to be bullshit when the training was just so long and strenuous and challenging. But when we got onto the floor, it was like the training was just dumb. Like basically you just got to know the systems that you were going to work with at AT&T. Um, Oh yeah, any job that says that we're a family, run the hell away. Even if that is a high paying job, they're gonna have the most toxic work environments and you're gonna be picked on, especially if you're black. And I'm gonna say this again, especially if you're black. Now, the training was stupid. The training manager, I believe his name was Charles. Yeah, it was Charles. Very old. He didn't know how to even work his own system. He didn't know how to do anything with Zoom. We had to help him out. Like it was crazy. Um, the overall work experience at AT&T was it was very much a stressful job. They would stress you out every single month if you didn't hit a certain ranking or stat to meet commission and whatnot. Um, I and this is the part where I say you have to be very specific. Yes, I did manifest my first high paying job, but when I tell you it was the most stressful job I've ever worked at, probably one of the most stressful jobs I've ever worked at. It was so stressful to the point where every single day I used to have a panic attack. Like I have really bad anxiety. I did start working from home. I've been working from home for like a year now and whatnot. But I was having an anxiety attack every single day because the amount of stress that they put on their workers is fucking ridiculous. Yes, I understand. And by the way, I live in Oklahoma where it's a low cost of living, so $16 an hour is a lot of money. Because typically they will pay you about $9 or $10 an hour and 7.25. Um, but you have to really think about the job that you're applying for when you think about the pay. You know what I mean? Like they're most likely paying for the stress because that means, especially they say if we're a family, that's going to be a lot of coworkers talking shit about you, trying to get you out of a paycheck, reporting you to HR every single day. Yes, as a black woman, I'm going to say definitely the white people, yeah. If you don't say hi to them, they assume that you're aggressive and you're not a team player because they're fucking stupid. Fuck all y'all. Um, I mean, at that job, not fuck all white people. Uh, it was just this is a terrible job. Like, really, you're just getting paid to get yelled at and cussed at all day, and then the manager, nine times out, well, eight times out of 10, they probably don't even know shit. Each manager, you're gonna, because you're gonna do a lot of schedule shifts and stuff like that. You're gonna switch out a lot, so each manager is gonna be different with their own different set of rules. And a lot of managers do not communicate because they're fucking stupid, and they don't like to communicate because they're fucking stupid, and they're managers. There's no leadership really. There's no real responsible manager. The last manager I had before I left, um, yes, I did leave. Like I said, it was my first high paying job, but trust me, when it came to my mental health, I'm gonna start picking my mental health over a check. It took me 22 years to do that, but on my 23rd, when I turned 23, I decided to pick mental health over a check. When I tell you I was crying every single day, shaking every day, it was a lot of stress on my ass. And it was my only source of income, so I was stressed the fuck out. Why was it my only source of income and I didn't have side hustles? Is because they work you to death and will leave you no time for yourself. Yes, I did have a lot of money, but it was not fucking worth it. God wanted better for me, and now I'm just a full time content creator. So, what I will say is again, be very specific whenever you manifest. Please just manifest everything in the best possible ways. Don't just say, oh, I want this job. Oh, I want this job. Blah, blah, blah. No. You got to be very specific with the universe because they will give you a job. If you say, oh, I want the highest paying job there is, they will give you just that. That's what I asked for, and that's what the hell I got. Be careful what you wish for. There's a lot of people still at that job that hate that damn place. But a lot of them are boomers or still or had parents that are boomers like me that had very much outdated and limiting beliefs that you have to stay very much unhappy at a job as long as it paid good. I'm not that type of bitch. I am a black sheep. I am the generational curse breaker of my family, and that's why I'm the most ostracized and the most disrespected, even though I do the most for my family. And that's why I don't talk to my family. I talk to my mom sometimes. It's a very short conversation when we do get to talk. She works and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, but all I have to say is when I did leave AT&T, I was very much happy. When I tell you a shoulder like a weight was lifted off my shoulders when I left. The thing is, you would have to, I'm not a quitter, so you would have to really push me out of an opportunity physically. And that is exactly what it did. The fact that I was having such panic attacks every day, I was crying at night because I was wanting something else. I was saving up for a car at the time. I was knowing that this was my only source of income. So I was like, oh no, I can't do anything else because I don't have any time for myself to do anything else. I just couldn't do it anymore. That's how you know a job is just not for you, when it puts you in such a physical and mental strain at the same time, and the point where it drains your energy spiritually. So now you're not even spiritually wealthy anymore. It's just not fucking worth it. I'm telling you this because I know. Yes, money is good. I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah, the money can be the root to all evil. It really can. But what I'm not gonna do is be stressing every single month about a job when I know I'm working my ass off. And the fact that they was like threatening people, like threatening to fire people whoever didn't get the vaccine, and then trying to send us to work. And I didn't have a car at the time, so me going to work on a Lyft every single day, because I don't ride Uber, I ride Lyft. That's about $18 every single day. Yeah, no, not fucking worth it. Rather be a remote worker for the rest of my life and make a lot of money from that and be happy and content with that, because it's not worth it, y'all. So just make sure when you manifest, be specific, say with feeling, use only positive intentions with everything you do. Okay? So, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I'm definitely going to try to be more active on here. I have a lot of story times. So, yeah. But bye.